Bam. Live at Bleeker Street Comics. It is New Year's Day, January the 1st. Star date. Fuck my life. Why am I here this morning? To sell comic books, baby. Let's do this.
That's it. What other fucking reason is there to get up on a holiday you're being paid for?
That is true. That is true.
Except for sex.
You heard it here, folks. Ben
Figures sex
or comics is the only reason to get up in the morning on a holiday you're being paid for.
Is he single or is he married? No, he's married, has children. Still.
Sex.
And comics. And I'll stand by that.
Here we are, just hanging out, chilling.
Fuck John Lennon. Love is not all.
Thanks for watching. Appreciate anybody who's showing up today. It's I can't imagine it's was a good night for anybody as far as being able to get up in the morning. It is Sunday. Niagara Flea Market is open. We are just chilling. We have no viewers, which is fine with me. We also have no customers, which is not as fine with me.
Nope.
It would be much better to have some customers today.
Yeah. I'm thinking, I'm hoping that this happens.
Yeah, me
it's
too.
Just early, man. No one's coming out and getting up early on a holiday. That's for sure.
Yeah,
But they might come down. Yeah.
Although it is 10:30, so.
It's early.
10:30 is sort of when it usually.
Get hit.
Yeah, 10:30 to 1 maybe. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, we're here. We're chilling. Ben will be here all day.
Like Dylan.
I will be getting out of here around 12:30, 1 o'clock-ish. Going home and chilling. I'm very tired. I spent a lot of time on Spine Ticks last night. Always thank you to Sith Lordly for having me on. If you haven't checked out Spine Ticks, go check them out every Saturday night. It is not a Saturday night unless you're watching Spine Ticks, baby. That's the way it is. Uncanny Swag, Dave Collects, Mr. Sith Lordly, holding it down for everybody on New Year's Eve. That was fun. Michael Baker, Happy New Year to you too, my friend. It is always good to see you in the chat. Ben's going smoking, so I'm going to hold down the fort for a minute. Didn't really bring too much new stuff in today. Wasn't sure what they did.
Sour cream glaze?
No, you go ahead, buddy. Go ahead.
I got a cooler.
I'm okay.
She left me the donuts in case I got hungry.
Fancy.
Gave me a 5 and said, see ya. That's my allowance.
Nice. Yeah, basically we're just chilling today, bud. It is the day after New Year's Eve. We are not feeling it this morning, but that's okay. Hopefully somebody comes in and spends lots of money. That always makes me feel better. Yes. I did buy Advil and razor blades this morning because, gotta stay pretty. Well, as pretty as you can be, anyway. It is a slow day. It's 10:35. I think we've had one person in so far. It's been quiet. Don't really have any take on any news that's going on. Yeah, Excalibur 1. It's a good one. The one above my head, wherever it is the. I think it's the one with the. Oh, that Excalibur. Yeah, Excalibur number 1. Yeah, I've got a lot of those actually. Maybe it'll pop off eventually. I am a fan. We did just get in a bunch of Werewolf by Night stuff, which is cool. Got a good rack of a lot of Silver Age comics and Bronze Age comics on it. It's pretty cool. Some Ninja Turtles. Collecting when I was a kid, mostly Star Wars and Spider-Man. I guess. More toys than anything. My parents didn't really want to buy us comic books. I'm not sure why. I think my dad, even still, he laughed at me when I told him I was selling comic books. He hates cartoons. He hates comics. I never understood why, but yeah, what it is what it is, I guess. I enjoy it, and that's all that matters. And we'll go say hey to some people, so you're not having to look at my ugly mug this whole time. See, there's other people in the world. Mixed Styles, one of the best booths in the place. Great games, toys, cards, lots of shit there. He's awesome. Good dude. And this is one of the prettiest people at the market. She sells candles.
Wait, you guys see?
Oh my god, you look so great with a beard. I've never been more attracted to you. I don't know what it is. It's that white fuzzy beard. I wore this to bed last night, so these are my pajamas. Is he coming in? Yeah.
I don't know. He said he sleeps naked. So
Marcus sent me some messages not too long ago.
oh yeah.
Oh yeah, they were.
My guess is he's not going to make it today.
They were fun. Yeah, he might be embarrassed.
Oh, he might be.
He might be not wanting to see me today. I don't know. We'll see. He doesn't strike me as the kind of guy that gets embarrassed, but we'll see.
Who's this?
Mr. Marcus.
Why would he be embarrassed?
Hey, he was looking for a date not too long ago and gave me a message.
Ah.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you know.
Did you?
I entertained it, but I don't swing. I don't swing, baby.
Oh.
I don't swing.
Well,
Too bad.
you do, but only for
But
me.
only,
But only
for the
for
right.
Nathan. Yeah, this guy right here. I'll swing for him any day. Oh, yeah, onesie. We got a onesie here, people. Oh, he's cute as heck. You're cute as heck, buddy.
You know that only for Nathan.
Yeah, only for Nathan. Yeah, Michael, me too, man. My family sucked when it came to collecting comic books. That's all right. They threw out all my toys when I was a certain age too. I came home and my Atari was gone. All my. I didn't have any of those toys yet. All right, these guys are too sexually charged, so let's get out of here. Let's get out of here, people. Let's go talk to some normal folk. Who would have thought that I'd be calling you normal? Also, awesome booth here. That is our fearless leader. The booth, formerly known as 24. She's got great stuff, man. Very cool stuff from boobies to Alice Cooper. We got over here. You know, come on down. Check out some tits. Check out some tits. It's Ben, just eating donuts, just hanging out. You know, what do I fucking pay this guy for? Oh, right, I don't pay that guy. Never mind. He can eat donuts all he wants. Yeah, man. It's very quiet today. Let's go check out another cool booth down here. Not to say that mine isn't the coolest booth, because check out this rack of awesomeness. Werewolf by Night, Fantasy Masterpiece, Brave and the Bold, Ghost Rider, Actually, quite a few old Ghost Riders I got in not too long ago. Lots of nice Ghost Rider. Very cool stuff. No guests in the guest room, but that's okay. How you doing, Luke? So, Retro Nostalgic, I think, is the name of this booth that we're going into right now. And, they've just got some really cool records and movies and masks. He's got some demented stuff in here, which is cool. Old VCRs, movies. Yeah, man. It's got some cool things. Check out Superman the movie on video discs, which is awesome. If I had a video disc player, I'd probably buy that. But I don't. This is Asia. Asia is our local anime gal. She's got an awesome booth. You know, chilling like a villain. This is it. Hey, brother. What do you mean? Look at all the people. You guys haven't sold all your meat yet? I'm surprised because there's so many people. Yeah, I know, buddy. I know. We're live. This is the Meat Man. He's awesome. That's the Meat Man's wife. She's also awesome. Just saying. Come on down to the market. Get some meat in ya. Get that meat in ya. Yeah, that's right. I said it like that on purpose. You dirty buggers. Here's Vince, the toy guy.
You doing, big guy?
Not bad, buddy. Not bad. Vince has one of the best booths in the place. We love Vince's booth. I might even take you there now because it's awesome. There's Travis's booth. He's got, like I said, one of the better booths in the place. A lot of video games. Got the popcorn guy over here, which I can't stand, to be honest, at 9 in the morning. It's disgusting, but that's okay. These guys just hanging out watching movies today. Hey, Chris, how you doing?
What's going on,
Man.
man? I was gonna be in the private channel like Bray Wyatt said, like, let me in. I'm knocking, let me in, open the door.
Hey, nice to see you in the chat, but nice to have you here.
Yeah, I'm just chilling. Today is it
Same,
nice
brother,
and
same.
easy, relax. Well, today is my birthday, so now I'm just chilling. Like I
Today's
got
your birthday?
Yeah.
Holy shit, happy birthday, man.
Thank you. I'm watching. Well, it's not a commercial right now, but I've been watching my gift that keeps on giving. I started it at I want to say around 11 or so, watching the Twilight Zone marathon, and I just it's still going, so I'm really excited. I'm like, yes, it's gonna keep going.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome, man. Yeah, I'll probably be going home early today too, and maybe turning on some TV.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is, it's like that the Twilight Zone marathon. I always look forward to that just because they don't, what I mean, there's no regular reruns for it anymore. So it's just like, oh, how can you get it? New Year's Eve.
Yeah,
How
man.
you doing?
How you doing, buddy?
This is Vince.
Good,
Vince,
good.
the toy guy here. We were just in his booth. He's got so much cool shit. You should see his house. It's unbelievable. He loves Batman. That's his guy.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, man. The hunt was awesome on Friday. That was great.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Yeah, you guys had a great match. You and Biggie always have a fun match, man. Every time I watch you guys, it makes me uncomfortable.
So I'll say this much. Biggie got lucky with one book is the whole reason why he got through that, because I was just like, I was just one of those deals where it's just like I was feeling it that night. I was just like, I think I got you. It's like, and he pulled out the one that ASM 50 saved him. But other than that, though, it was like, if not for that, I think I would have had him. But that's okay.
I actually think you would have had him. He just did a weird oogity boogity thing that people fucking loved that night. He had like a good shtick that night.
That's okay. You know what? Part of my problem is that I don't. So part of my problem with my current character is that I tend to just kind of not be too cactus. I'm more just myself. So it's just like like my newer thing. I that I'm gonna be turning into. I hope that I'll kind of incorporate that more. But it's a little easier because it's like it's an easier character to deal with. Like Cactus Jack is tough, man. It's like you gotta be all blood and guts all the time, and just like sometimes it doesn't work.
I actually feel that. I think with my the Switch coming up, I think it'll be easier for me to be I don't know, just more into the wrestling, more into the kayfabe. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh no, you like trust me, man. It's just like if you guys do it, if you guys do it right, because it's just like especially like where where it looks like the story's going with it. It's especially like it'll be crazy. Just because like that transition part, like especially if it's like if you do it kind of like how it happened on television, it's gonna like people gonna go like when you finally put it this way, when you debut it and you go for the actual the actual title, like you won't lose a vote. I'll tell you that right now.
That's what I'm hoping. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping, buddy.
Yeah, no, you'll crush it on that because it's just like it's fun to do that just because and it's funny too because it's like Dustin. I mean that's kind of Dustin's deal right now. Like if you look at it, he's taken Unkind into being a dark and brooding character, man, and people are just like, oh, look at him.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Actually, what he's doing right now is fucking awesome. I love it.
Yeah, he's just got the I don't want to say like I would say like the vision, like because it's more than just the vision, but like he just has the I guess chops for it. Like he just can because it's like who comes into that and then like I'm gonna show up again and then like the little vignette with the pictures and stuff and I was like what the hell is this and then last time with the voice and everything I was like oh so we got Jigsaw here all of a sudden like what is this now?
Oh yeah, I messaged him. I'm like, you're a fucking dick. How am I supposed to win with that fucking voice? That's impossible, bro.
That's the thing. You know what's funny is I don't know if he so I don't know if it would be kind of exhausting to do it because I like I've thought about it myself and it's just like because I definitely get the face and everything for it, but to be a character like Bray Wyatt on there would be awesome. He has the imagination for it. It's just how exhausting is that? Just because like to sit there and do all that, it's got to be tough. And it's just like to really think about it, come down. Because I mean I don't know how I don't know if it's just something he can do. Like, if he can do it naturally, no problem at all.
Well, but if it's the big champ right now, can't you be you could be Roman Reigns, can't you? Like look at you, you look fucking just like the guy.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's been a Roman on there, but
you could do that pretty easily, man.
Well, let's put it this way: if my transition to Seth Rollins falls through, because that's what I was trying to do. I was like, you know what? I think, and there's a reason for it. I don't want to give it away just because I don't want people to go, oh,
of course, of course.
But there's a reason for it, and it makes a lot of sense, and I can build that just because, with some of the people that have come in, it's just like, oh, I can feel with this one. I can have a good feel with this one. Oh, and then your transition that you're doing, I was like, oh, like well, Seth had a big feel with him at one point too, so this works. It's like I can feel with a bunch of different people, and kind of go with that whole thing. So it's just like it is pretty fun. It's fun to be able to switch it up and do different things. And really, what I'm looking for is to get a character that I can sit there and permanently be like how the tone is how Tony's the tone is just like that's his character. Like he can the only thing he has to switch is from heel to face and back and and it's just that's perfect. And that's what I'm looking for. It's like okay, if I can do this and write it out and just be this, that's cool.
Yeah, no, I feel that. I really do feel that, to be honest. I feel I could do a little more with the character switch. So
yeah,
I don't know. It's just something behind a mask is a little easier, I guess, maybe.
Oh yeah. Well, you have to ask FaceTime that because FaceTime he's doing that thing with the mask, and you know what? Like I feel like you know, he's only been on I think just like with the one time, which is
Yeah.
cool. Right. I feel like something like that, like being that man of mystery type thing, really you know, it gets people intrigued to be like, oh, like what's going on with this? Because then if you ever decided to like, you know, just take it off, people lose their minds. It's like, oh no.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. I totally agree.
But that's all, you know, just you know, really a fun experience. That's why like I like being on that so much, because you know, you get to see so many good things, and everybody brings something, you know, unique and awesome to everything. It's just like there's so many people that you know, just take something that you like, oh, like you know, like who would ever, you know what I mean? Like think of it like Chris Barrett originally was the brain. And it's just like, oh, he's a manager, he's the brain, and then you know he came, he's Spike Dudley now, and it's just like, you know, Spike Dudley, and then it's just like, you know, and the way he's done it, it's just like, you know, some people are like, oh, well, Spike wasn't that big, but Spike, like, it's perfect for him. It's just like he's you know, that little guy with a ton of fight in him, and he will surprise you. He will surprise, like that's why like it kills me. People are like, oh, like he's not no competitor. I'm like, dude, he is one belt away from being a Grand Slam champion. I was like, he is no joke. Like,
No, he's surprising, man. He actually, like, he doesn't scare me so much, but he scares me because you never know what he's gonna play. You just never know. Sometimes he's got
yeah,
12-cent books, and other time he's, you know, he's got boobies.
yeah, that's true. I mean, and it's just, you know, he's really cool. Like, and like he leans into it. And you know, the one thing that the one thing that I say makes him, I think, you know, I mean, unpredictability, yes, but he is one of the absolute sharpest when it comes to countering on, as far as like if you say something to him, he counters right back. Like he is not something like, oh, I make this comment, there's no comeback. Like he has a comeback instantly. It's like, Jesus. You sit there and, I mean, you try to argue and he'd be like, nope, this, nope, that. Oh yeah, well that's what you did. And it's just like, but it's just like, but it's good though. And it's not just like, oh yeah, no, you're stupid. It's just like, no, he has a zinger right back at you every time. Like, wow, like,
There's a few guys on the show that are like that. Dustin's like that. Tony's like that. Who Dad is like that.
yep,
You know, and those guys, that's when, if you can be quick-witted on this show, it makes you a much better or formidable opponent. That's for sure.
yep, exactly. But you know, and the thing, you know, that I also like too is just I love the creativity that you know, that Tone has with you know, just the different matchups. It's like you went from, you know, I mean, just this year you had what, the street fight, they did the ladder match for the first time, and then the War Games match. It's like, oh my god, like all three of those things in 1 year. And it's like, you know, and it's just so fun, like how he has a story that continues on and everything goes forward. And you know, the other comic battle shows I don't think do that. That I don't think they have. I think a lot of it is you know, just kind of like, oh, we just throw this up and it'll be cool. And it's just like, yeah, no, like this is Tony's passion project, man. He like has this whole thing mapped out, and just, you know, and it doesn't matter how big the roster gets, like he's just ready to go. Like he's like, oh yeah, no, I got ideas for you. We can do this with you. We can put this, you know what I mean? It's really fun.
Well, that's the thing. I think Tony really, really enjoys it. You know, and where other people try a little too hard, and Tony has a lot of fun with it, which is probably one of my favorite things about this show.
Yep.
And the fact that we have some of the best people in the community on the show, like, honestly, man, who dat, Doc, yourself, Ancient One, like, you get what collections, man? What collections people get to see on a regular basis? It's unbelievable.
Well, I mean, yeah, and it's just, you know, it's fun that, you know, everybody comes in and does that stuff, and then it's just like, you know, like just how you say, like, you know, and the people that put themselves in the roles that you know, like Danny sitting there, you know, when he's the ancient one, he has to put on that whole, like, the robe and the beard and everything. Nick, he has to put on the makeup. You in the beginning, when you were that Dr. Satan thing, it's just like,
Yeah.
I was sitting there, I was like, I don't know how long it's gonna last. That's a lot of makeup and stuff to be wearing, all this type of stuff. It's just like, you know, it's probably like, you know, half hour worth of, you know, getting ready just to go on, you know.
It's true, actually. It's true. That's the one thing I regret about that kind of stuff. But on the other hand, it's going to be fun as hell.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Like you know, it's you know, it's fun seeing all the characters and how the people come through, and it's just you know,
Nick's
everybody
done
has.
such a good job with his character. He's done a wicked job.
Well, yeah. I mean, and it's funny because like you know, he you know, originally that like you know was real nervous about like, oh, I don't know if I can do it. It's like just go on, have some fun, and then it's just like you know, and now he's one that's like unpredictable because there's some times where he comes on, I'm like oh, I could have beat him tonight, I could have willed him into the ground tonight, and there's other times where it's just like, oh no, he came to play tonight. Wow, he got you know, and he'll always kind of shock you. That's why like you know he's one of those ones that I think is kind of like is just you know a wild card. You gotta be careful. Like you can't don't ever take him lightly.
No, he's definitely a wild card. He's definitely a wild card, and he's got some books that the crowd likes. So, gotta watch
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
You gotta watch that.
And the thing too is you know he also knows how to sell like you know books that you know like just regular books like oh yeah I picked this up on a Wednesday, look at this is a cool cover, and people just eat it up, man. It's just like wow that's you know that's a tough
True.
thing to do because it's not hard to sell. Look, if I got an Iron Man #1 or something like that, that ain't hard to sell it. Yeah, I got this. It's
Yes. Yeah.
amazing. It's just like no, I picked this up on Wednesday and this book is badass because this it's like oh you know like that's definitely a hard skill to do. So
It's true. I try and say it to every new person that comes on the hunt when we do the backstage talk. I'm like, honestly, man, win the crowd and you'll win your freedom. The crowd
yep.
is a huge part of the game, man. It's a huge part of
Yep.
the game. If you can find a way to make the crowd love you, you're fucking in like Flynn, man.
Yeah, I think me and the chat have a kind of a I don't want to say abusive relationship, but we definitely you know I because when me and Dustin and then Huda for a little bit did that whole you know Comic Code Authority thing like oh we turned hard on them and it was
Oh,
just
I
like you
know.
know what but it was fun it was fun to be able to sit there and talk a bunch of you know just talk badly and it's just like you know what because you guys aren't supporting me, I'm not gonna support. You know what I mean? It's just like it was fun to turn it on its head a little bit. So now I'm kind of like you know, baby, please, baby, take me back, please, please.
I don't know. I think the crowd needed a good spank when you guys did that. I think that
Yeah.
was fun. The Comic Code Authority I thought was pretty fun, to be honest.
Well, I mean, it was just one of those frustration things where it's just like you know, you are in there and you're showing books and it's just like. Okay, like so you guys like this. Okay, fine. And then it's like, but when you have books like, you know, when you had some like big books losing to like absolute nothing, I was like, you got to be kidding. Like, I think what set it all off, what really set it off bad, you know, what was when Who Dat lost with I think the red shorts name I forget which
Yeah.
Fantastic Four was, but he lost with that to like you know just some random you know Fantastic Four in like mid '90s book. I was like, I was like, no, this is insane.
I agree. It's baffled me. Some of the losses on the hunt have definitely baffled me.
Yeah, it's just you know, it's one of those deals where it's just I think you know just people. I mean, and it is what it is. Like, it's hard to sit there and say, well, you know, you gotta vote for the book or you gotta vote, you know, just because if you just vote for the book, then there's people, you know, there's people that will never lose. You know what I mean? But then
Yes.
you know,
Yeah.
you vote for your person, and it's just like so. It's kind of like that mix of both, but it was like it just kind of flipped into a thing where it's just like, all right, you know, you gotta think logically a little bit too, though. You can't just be like, oh, you know, yeah, Reese's wrapper versus you know Daredevil #1 is just like okay, so this is just gonna win because oh the
Hey,
Reese's wrapper took it. Like no.
like I said, sometimes you just got to know how to play the crowd. I won with Fraggle Rock and Batman Adventures #1 on Friday. So
Oh no, I'll tell you right now, like that Fraggle Rock is something. Like, I look at that where it's just like that's not something to like be like oh like I won with this little thing. Like no that Fraggle Rock is a demon because of the fact that you know you'll get it's a book that people don't see a lot and it's one of those things where it's like everybody knows Fraggle Rock from childhood, so like you know that's an easy one, especially if someone's putting up just something else like unless like at that point if the other person isn't put up a nostalgia book it's nostalgia
it's
book's
true.
gonna take that one every time. That's why like with that big 18 book I was just like yeah I was like here you go.
Chris, that's Ben.
Oh, nice to meet
He's
you, Ben.
Book Freak Comics in the
Nice to meet you, man.
in the chat when we're on the hunt. So if you ever
Oh
see Book
nice.
Freak Comics, that's him.
So he looked like he got a pretty good shop going on there too.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, I've got a really nice shop. Honestly, it's It does really well. I got a lot of nice big books. Everything, yeah. It's just quiet today because it's the day after New Year's. So
No, I don't. Yeah, everybody's sleeping it off.
yeah, I don't think today is going to be the day to make any big sales.
That's cool though. Actually, you know what's funny with that is that today, like, so now if you're an actual comic hunter, like, we are, it's just like that's the day you want to go. It's like, oh, like everybody's, sleeping off, celebrating the night before. Let me go down and see, because I was just like, oh, this book that I hope that doesn't get bought, like, let me go down there, and then it's just like, see if I can maybe, like, not just sit there and lowball, but maybe I can, swing a little bit of a deal. Like, you know what? It's
Can
New Year's,
always make deals at a comic book shop. I don't know why people don't even try. It actually bothers me when people don't even try to make a deal. They look at the price of the book and think, "No, I'm okay." Like, if I'm gonna ask for $10 off, man, see what happens.
Yeah, yeah, because I mean that's what I'll say. A lot of people, like, the only places I've ever had like trouble with doing that. Sometimes it's like conventions, because, like, sometimes when people are at conventions, like, oh, this is the price. That's it. It's like, really, there's like, but then you see them again on Sunday. You go in on Friday. And it's like, would you take this? No, and you see them again on Sunday. It's like, oh, would you take this now? Like, maybe, I don't know.
Sunday's the day. Sunday's always the day for conventions. If you want deals, Sunday's the day, man.
Yep. It's just, and sometimes some people don't move on them. And it's funny, though, because those guys that won't budge on those, you usually don't see those guys again, because it's just like, oh, like, they did that one convention circuit. And, it's just like, have fun loading on them long boxes. I was trying to make it a little easier on you, but.
Yeah, I need actually a whole other collection to do comic book conventions, because I really want to start doing comic book conventions, but
yeah,
realistically, I need at least another, I don't know, 20,000 books. It just it's expensive, man. It's like $900 for like 3 days.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And you gotta set, the setup and everything like that, and then like the thing that I feel like is tough with that too is that you just gotta you have to be like vigilant and watch everybody, because if you have a popular booth, you gotta make sure that everybody's keeping their hands to themselves and no one's doing anything just because it's real quick. I mean, like, and you wouldn't think so, but like depending on the convention, especially if it's real busy, it's very easy to lose a book. I remember one time at Boston, it was Boston Comic Con at the time. There's a guy who had X-Men 4, and he was just like, oh, like and I didn't I didn't realize what he had lost initially at first. I was like, oh, you mean First Omega Red? He's like, no, X-Men 4, like like some guy has to see it, and I don't know where he went. So somebody ran off with an X-Men 4.
Oh my god. Yeah, I've seen there's a guy and his kid that used to hang out in this market. He used to hang out at conventions too, and his kid used to steal for him. So he'd talk to the owner, and his kid would go around and boop, 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 just yank all these books down. So that's you got to watch out. People do suck, but for the most part, the comic community is all right.
Yeah, no, they're all good. Just because that's the thing. Like, everybody was like looking and saying, like, if we see it, we'll let you know. Just because, I mean, but I mean, everyone looks at it like, whereas, it's most likely another collector that you're, buying from. So it's just like, nobody wants to sit there and see that, because it's like, who knows how long it took that person to get that, and now they're looking to sell it off. It's just like, yeah, I can empathize, and I can think about that too, because it's like, oh, it took me all this time, and now I'm finally, being like, what, I can let this go, and to have it be stolen from you is just like, that's the worst, because it's like, I've had this book for all this time, and I really love this book, and now it's gone, like,
There's nothing worse than an expensive book like that going. That's his whole rent. That's like, if somebody actually bought that, that's his whole rent for the weekend. You know what I mean? And
yep.
And then he could just go profit after that.
Yep. And actually, one of the cooler things I saw at a convention, like, so it was like a little kid. He was maybe like 11 or 12 years old, and he just had a bunch of just like like he had a few long boxes, and he was just selling them all for like 50 cents or $1. And it was just like mostly like filler stuff, but the kid was banking. I mean, people, and like so many people went over there, like 50 cents, $1, and so these 10 bins here are $1, and then these ones are all 50 cents. This kid was cleaning up 50 cents at a time, man. And I was just like, I was just shocked, because like everybody kept going, like, oh, but like
I did that. I did that at my last convention, bro. I ripped a bunch of old 15 and 12 cent Namors out of this guy's booth for $5 a piece. He had
Yeah.
a like special sale. I'm like, you're selling 12-cent Namors for $5 a piece. All right, I'm in.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's just like, some
Or no,
like,
sorry, not Namor, Submariner. Sorry.
yeah. Well, that's the thing. It's like, I always say that about places like, if the prices are too high, like comic shops where the prices are just like stupid high and that dumb high on purpose, and there's no wiggle room. I call those places museums.
Oh
Like
yeah.
so, like oh, I'm going to this shop here, and then, they're notoriously big. I'm like, oh, like, so when people like will name the shop, like, oh, I'm going to XYZ shop. Oh, you mean the museum? Yeah, no, the museum's cool. You can, look at everything and, see how it all is. But, or either that or like the art gallery. It's like, oh, you're going to the art gallery today, huh? I was like, see if they, decide to let somebody buy something for a change, just because, like, it's just like sitting up on the walls. And like, I remember there was a shop that they had, I forget what it was. It was like they had, I think it was first Deadpool on the wall for like a while, and it was there. I was up there for about 6 months because they wanted way too much money, and I was just like, oh, it looks like there's some dust starting to collect over there. It's like, I don't know, you might want to dust this off a little bit, and then and it's just it's just funny because it's just like like everybody swears like, oh, like, well, the big book's just gonna go. It's like, yeah, right, it's gotta be priced right or else it's gonna sit there because people know
Comic
what's
book
going on.
shops right now are, because not everything's going on. Comic books as a whole are still up, but all the big books are gone down a bit. So comic book shops they're upset because they didn't sell them in time. That's all. So they keep their prices up, and it's like, hey man, that's not how it works, bro. You got to go with the market.
Yeah, you get exactly. It's just like everybody's like it's funny because like that whole big pop wasn't even comic fans buying this stuff. It was like investment groups trying to
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
bring these books way up, and it's just like, okay. And it's so funny because it's like as everybody else is going through it, like, oh, I bought this, and now it's like and on the one hand, I mean, it was huge books that like will probably keep their value and they'll continue to go up,
Yeah.
but they're not. But I mean, but you're not going to see a book like Hulk 181 that was if you go back like a year ago, it was going for like $15,000, and like and now it's back down to depending on the grade, a few $1,000. So it's like
Yeah.
it'll really get back up there again. But
I think a couple years ago, Crow 1 sold for $28,000.
Yeah,
And it was a 9.8, but still $28,000 for Crow 1. It's not even his first fucking appearance, for fuck's sake.
yeah. No, it's what it is it's just that cover. That cover's cool.
Agreed, but it's not his first appearance. I don't understand how that could possibly be. Like, you can get his first appearance for cheaper than that sold. It's insane. It's insane.
Well, and that's it's all because he's not on the cover. Like, if he was on the cover of that Caliber Comics, that shit would be like ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it's because they got that like Hercules guy, like with the sword, like what I mean. And it's just like, oh, the Crow's in here somewhere. It's just like, oh.
Well, he's on the back cover of that book, the Caliper #1 or whatever it is. Yeah, he's on the back cover of that book, and it says the first appearance of Crow or whatever like that. It's a really great back cover, but that should have been the front cover.
Yeah,
and that book would be fucking expensive as fuck.
Yep.
That's on my list. That's on my list this year. I'm gonna play it when Tony pulls out his fucking Crow #1 again.
Yeah, like what's funny is like every time he pulls that out, like people I've seen so many people ask him, is that for sale? I know you're always selling things. Like, how much you want for it? And and he's like, that's going nowhere. It's like it's signed by James O'Barr. It's the first print. It's got a remark on it. He's like, that's mine. Like that's going nowhere. And people like keep on bugging him. And then he'll go on an auction. So he'll show it on the hunt, and then he'll go on one of the auction shows. People like, hey man, when are you gonna sell that Crow #1? I'll make you an offer. He's like, no. He's like, there is no offer. Like, no.
No, I understand that. And there's certain books I have in my collection that I'm the same way. I'm like, that's my book, bro.
There's for me like, see, I haven't gotten quite to the pot where I'm like, oh yeah, I can just go ahead and get rid of this, just because it's too hard for me. Like in certain cases, like if I have doubles, yeah, it's gone. But
I love Todd McFarlane, and I've got a Spawn 1. Everyone's got a Spawn 1, but I've got a newsstand Spawn 1 signed by Todd McFarlane, and that's like probably one of my personal biggest grails, just because of his importance to me, blah, 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 when I grew up reading comics, et cetera, et cetera. And that's not the biggest grail in the world, but it's one of my biggest grails, man. That's not going anywhere.
So do you know? Actually, one of the books that's on my list, and I'm kind of upset at myself because of the fact that I waited too long to get it. Now it's more expensive than it should be. Is
Yeah.
Do you remember the Spawn #1, that black and white one that came out in like '97?
Yes. Yeah. A friend of mine's got one signed right now for sale.
Yeah, like I want to get one. And just like, but the thing is, like, everybody knows that, like, I shouldn't say everybody, like, but the people that are selling them on eBay, like, they're looking for, like, just like way more than it should be going for. And it's just like, so it's hard, and it's just like, but you don't see that book come around all that often. So it's just like, it's tough because it's
How
like,
much you want to spend on it? I think he wants like 900 for his, but his is signed by Todd McFarlane. Like, it's a really nice piece.
I mean, that I would have to check out and see, just because, I mean, I would definitely take a look at that, because I mean
Yeah.
that is more reasonable than stuff that I have. I've seen people looking at,
Yeah.
people
And
looking
it's
for like
$900
$600.
Canadian, so it's got to be like $10 American, right?
I wish. You have no idea how badly I'm just like, you know what? I really would love to take a trip up north to just go ahead and raid the comic bins and stuff from you guys.
Yeah, I'm the same.
What's
These are
going on?
a couple more cool dudes that hang out at the market. They've got an awesome booth of toys and cards and
You name
hockey
it.
stuff. Really, pretty much everything you name it, they got it.
No, that was what was that? There was a booth that you had shown earlier that had like laser disc, and I was like, because I was like, oh, Superman 2 poster, that's cool. He's like, no, it's laser disc. Wow, like,
Yeah, man, there's some
and
good stuff here.
it's funny because I know that there's still a market for laser discs. Like people love those.
Yeah, no, and I even if I get a full-time store, which I'm looking to find, I'll probably always still have a booth at the market. To be honest, it's
Yeah.
really good advertising. Just a different crowd of people that you meet, so it's not bad.
I know I know that over here that there's there's a few flea markets that people will go to. Like there's a couple guys that actually have shops that just go down on the weekends, and they'll just kind of hang out in the flea market, just because it's the same thing. It's just like, like you said, like, oh, like, I have an actual shop, like this is some of the stuff I have, but I have more over here. And it's just like, those are the type of things that will really help build up business for you,
Yeah,
and
no,
get to,
absolutely,
like,
man.
so many new people, because I think that's one of the toughest parts with owning an actual shop, is just getting the foot traffic, because, like, all right, people will stop in,
That's yeah, you have to have the foot traffic. You really, if you're going to open a shop, you really need a good spot, or you have to have a really popular, like a lot of popular things that people want. So
yeah. And I think that a flea market helps in that way, because comic shop, like, people go to flea markets that would never go to comic shops, not because they're like elitist or anything. It's just that's not what they're there for. Like my grandmother, when I was younger, she was just, I mean, she had some type of system or something where she knew where all the flea markets were. We would go all over Massachusetts and New Hampshire and stuff, like going to flea markets on the weekends. She used to go to flea markets like crazy, and like she passed away when I was like, what was I, like 14 or something like that. And but she like, if she was around now, I mean, and she was like mobile and everything. Like, I consider her straight. Like, Grammy, can we go to a flea market? I'm like, oh yeah. She, like, you tell me when there's one, and we'll go. Like, she loves flea markets all the time.
yeah, no, it's yeah, you just get a bunch of different people here, and it really does help because they know their kid likes comics or this person likes comics, and they start telling people about the market. It's good, man.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
fun.
it's real
I enjoy
diverse
it.
too. Because you're just like, oh, like, we get a meat thing here. I'm like, really? They sell, like that's cool.
Oh
Just like,
yeah,
you get a
yeah.
video game store, you get Bleeker with the
Meat Man
comic
is
store, you
just
get the
around the
toy store,
corner.
you get the
He's
Meat
awesome.
Man.
Yeah,
See, that's
Meat Man's
cool,
really good here.
especially.
Actually, he gives away a lot of free samples. It's really nice.
Yeah, because that looked. I was like, you just got it all set up just right there, and just like, oh, like, but like, and I love that you can find pretty much whatever you need.
Yeah, you can find
Like,
everything here. Honestly, if you're looking for stuff for your YouTube show, this is the booth to go to. Here's your fine, lovely hosts, both of
oh,
them.
nice.
They are awesome. Yeah, man.
They do a
Honestly, yeah,
lot of
this
like
is like they've
electronic
got all
stuff.
the O lights and like cameras and
Oh yeah.
microphones and stuff like that. Headphones, which I actually might need a set of headphones for when I'm on YouTube. 15, okay.
15 bucks.
See,
That's
15
pretty cool.
bucks. Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
see,
these guys are awesome. Honestly, great people.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's a good community here, brother. It's a nice community.
I feel like it's just it's cool to see what everybody has, because it's almost just like YouTube, like that. That's really honestly what brought me into YouTube, because I was like, initially I was looking at for a channel, I was looking to learn how to grade comics, and so I started looking, and then I found some and people just showing their collections, and I was like, oh, this is really cool.
I gotta come visit your booth.
Okay, yeah.
All right.
Someone's gonna make me a TikTok. This lovely young
Hi,
lady.
how are you?
Hi.
A TikTok. Awesome. She's also got a great booth. Lots of clothes. It's beautiful.
Yeah. See all the hats
Hook
and
and
stuff.
thimble.
Follow the Niagara Flea Market on TikTok.
Woo!
See, that's cool. But yeah,
Yeah,
like that's how I started out. Was just like I just wanted to learn. Like, I was looking for videos on how to grade comics, and this is like in like 2014 or so. And then I just stumbled across like, oh yeah, like I'm just showing my books and doing it. And I was like, oh, this is. And then I went down a rabbit hole. And next thing I know, I'm just like, kind of just checking all these people's videos and hauls all the time. And then just kind of got introduced to well, it was this guy named We Love Comics, and then he he had this like live show, and he kept putting people on, and him and others that were on there convinced me to make a channel. So that's how I got into this.
All right, we're gonna make a purchase at Nick Styles today. I'm buying a toy because I can't resist it anymore, and I have $20 in my pocket, and I need it. I need it in my life.
What are you buying? Voltron?
All right. That's for you, sir. And I will show you my awesome toy in 1 second once I put my wallet away.
All right. Buying Voltron. Oh, what are you on for you? Oh, shit. That's awesome.
Awesome.
That's cool.
He is wicked. He's standing by a tombstone. He's got his cool crow on his shoulder.
That's awesome.
So yeah, man, I just paid $20 for that. That's a really good deal, to be honest.
Oh yeah, that's great.
I know he's not in the package or nothing, but he's still pretty awesome.
No, that's a display piece. You can't. I mean, that I find to be one of the toughest things when people are like, oh, I got this thing, and I'm just keeping it in a box, and like something like that. No, that's a display piece. That has to come out. Like that has to be,
Yeah,
shown.
This is going to be displayed behind me. I'm going to have to move Brutus when I do the switch. This is not for sale.
Yeah, no, I what's funny is that like when I'll go to the conventions around here, and it seems like everybody has Voltrons, and they all taunt me with them like, oh, like got a Voltron for sale, it's $950. I'm like, yeah, no, I don't think this is. If I buy that Voltron today, I can't go home. My wife will beat me up.
I'm looking at Silver Surfer 88. I just sort of want to show you an awesome picture of Thanos. I don't know if anybody's read Silver Surfer 88. Look at the first page.
Yeah.
Look at how awesome that is.
That's really good.
Yeah, man. If you don't like reading comic books, you're silly. Look at how awesome the art is, people. Fucking fantastic.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. There's so many. There's I think it's 82. 82 is one of the best fights I've ever seen with Silver Surfer. Like he's him and a bunch of other people got captured by this guy Tyrant, and and the battle that they have is crazy. And it's just like and I mean everybody gets overwhelmed, even Silver Surfer, and then Galactus has to step in and be like, hey, let them go. But it was just like, it was a good story. I remember I got that from, one of the shops for free, like way back in the day. And it was just like, like I read that until the cover fell off. Like I love that book.
Yeah, honestly, I don't really read a ton of comic book stuff anymore. I read mostly independents when I'm reading, but I still collect a lot of comic books. I just don't read them because I don't find the stories as captivating as they used to be. I do love the art still a lot. The art's still amazing. I just don't find the stories that good. This is the Lego guy. If Dave Collects was watching, this is the absolute booth to go. He's got a Millennium Falcon up there, which I'm super jealous
it's over.
of.
You can get the Falcon.
Oh, look, he's got Optimus Prime.
Yeah, I've been seeing that. People are like all into that now.
Oh my God. Oh my God! Look at them all. He's
I'm
got the
I'm curious
Simpsons
now.
Lego house. Jesus.
Oh, the Simpsons house.
Oh my God! No, that's a little out of my budget.
Wow.
I won't be buying the Simpsons house today.
Just out of curiosity, ask him how much the Optimus is.
What has he got on it? He's got almost $500 on it, but that's Canadian. So
Yeah.
again, $10 American. You guys are in.
No, like it's funny because it's like like people have been going nuts with that Optimus because you can transform them.
This is Kelly. She is the leader of the flea market.
Oh,
No,
nice.
he's the
Nice to
leader.
meet you.
Check us out. That is also the leader.
Hey, how you doing?
I am.
Wow, I can't believe they had the Simpson house there. That and a Millennium Falcon in the back. As I said, they can get the Falcon. It's over. It's over.
Oh my God. Yeah, that guy's Lego booth is awesome. He just moved in not too long ago and he's got just some cool stuff, man.
If he gets a Death Star, he's the champion. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely has great stuff in there. I'm working on getting Lego myself. I just can't find any big chunks of it for cheap enough. That's all.
You know what was cool? Like we were talking to Tacoma, and I guess Tacoma Comics. He's a big Lego guy too, and with his kids and everything. And he was saying that so I guess nowadays, if you have an old Lego set, like let's say you just pick one up and it's just all disassembled, you don't know how to do it, and there's no direction. You can go online and find the direction. I was like, oh, that's a game changer. I was just like, oh my God. I remember back in the day, like if you lost the directions, you were screwed.
Oh
Now
yeah,
it's all imagination.
Lego's amazing, man. There's literally there's people in the world that buy as much Lego as they can. They separate it into all the little blocks, the 2 blocks, the 4 block, the 8 block, and they sell it just like that, and they make boatloads of money on it, man. Lego is definitely a money grab for sure.
Yeah, and it's just it's so crazy how much they've expanded. It's just like I remember when I was little, like they had just like the cityscape stuff, and then like I think they just started to do Star Wars when I was about 13 or so.
Yeah,
and then,
I'm upset at myself. When I was little, I had literally probably all of the castles with all the knights and all the swords, and those things are worth a boatload right now. It's ridiculous.
That stinks because I had that too. I had one castle I got for my birthday, and it was like it was crazy. Like I mean, building it was really fun. It took a long time, but like and it's just like went ahead and got rid of it. But I wish I didn't.
So we're in the movie guy's place.
Oh wow!
He has all the movies ever. All the movies. So right here, just come on down.
I saw
he's got
a
lot of good horror stuff too. So a lot of nice big horror section here with all the old.
That's you're talking my sister's language now. My sister would be all over that.
Yeah, it's SS Hell Pack. So there's some really good old horror movies in here that you will love.
Thanks, man.
My pleasure, brother.
My sister's a big horror buff.
Yeah, man. I'm waiting for you probably don't know him, but Tim Sinkovich, he's gonna be coming down to the booth today. He's in a lot of the chats, newbies chat. He's always in. He watches The Hunt once in a while.
Yeah.
He'll be coming down to pick up some books I pressed for him. I got a couple of 9/8s waiting for him. I sent him to CGC, so he's going to be happy when he gets here.
Yeah, see, that's cool.
Yeah, I think I did the first Invincible Iron Man for him. The first, AI Tony Stark or whatever.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you got 2 of them, 2 9/8s. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I guess I sent him some things out to get graded myself, just because like, I was thinking of grading my GI Joe run.
You should grade your GI Joe run. You should definitely grade they're worth so much more when they're graded.
Yeah, I mean, not all of them are 9/8s, but there's a bunch of them. I mean, there's definitely a bunch of mid grades. But I was thinking of doing that just to kind of have the whole thing graded. But
GI Joe's crazy, man. GI Joe, like I love GI Joe. I always have, but it's absolutely insane how much it's worth.
Yeah, one of my books that I'm looking to pick up for the year is a GI Joe 21, the Canadian price variant.
Oh yeah.
I have 2 of two other ones. I think I have a newsstand and I have a just a direct, And so I'm like, oh, get the Canadian price variant, and I can,
You want the trifecta? That's what you want.
Well, yeah. Well, it's just, the thing is, I have, so like I said, I have the whole run, and then it's just like, oh well, if I get one of these, then
I know well enough not to play GI Joe against John the Hunt. I'm very informed. It is not to play GI Joe against Chris on the Hunt.
I'll tell anybody that, like, don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't play X-Men against you too much either, unless it was something really, really good.
There's I have a pretty decent X-Men collection, but it's just like, there's a few books that big hitters that I don't have. I should say, obviously, like very, very early X-Men, I don't have any of that. Like, I'm not rich. I don't get it like that. I think the earliest X-Men issue I have is like 34 or something like that.
No. Yeah, as far as X-Men goes, I don't collect a lot of X-Men.
I love it.
I find it just, there's too much X-Men, so I just didn't ever get into it. I like X-Men a lot. I just found it too overwhelming to start collecting it because I never collected it from the beginning. So and it's very daunting.
It depends. It just depends on where you want to come into. Like because I would say, like, if you liked from where, I guess, like if you were into it like during like the cartoon stage and everything, like, you can just easily jump on like the Jim Lee X-Men, and there's plenty of good stories there. And those ones aren't too expensive. But then if you're gonna go Uncanny, yeah, it's got a pretty long history and everything like that. But I mean, you can still pick us. I mean, there's plenty of good stories that happened like the 90s and late 80s and stuff. So
yeah, there's definitely some good G.I. Joe still. Even the IDW run was pretty good, to be honest.
Yeah,
I know the Marvel run's the one everybody wants, but the IDW one was written well. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was still Larry Hama that was doing it. So it's just like, he went through and he kind of kept it going. And then, where you kind of find some crazy stuff is that there's a lot of variants that came out during those other years that, like, some of them are real expensive. Like, there's one I want to get, and I can't find it anywhere. It's a Snake Eyes cover, and it's like the Purple Rain cover. So he's on the motorcycle. That shit is expensive, and it's very hard to find. I can't find it anywhere.
Yeah, I've seen it before. I don't think I have it, but I definitely
I've
seen it.
I never got a chance.
I have a few covers that are weird for G.I. Joe. Like, I don't collect G.I. Joe, but I've got a few ones that I just loved and I couldn't get rid of. And I'm pretty sure I got a nice Snake Eyes one from IDW. It's just got him on the cover, and it's awesome, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a bunch of crazy stuff. Like the funny thing. So, Art Germ, his first work in comics was in G.I. Joe.
Yeah, which one? Like, what song do you want?
Oh, anything cool. What do you got?
I don't care. Anything you pick.
Okay. I'm picking a song. What song should I pick, Chris?
What kind of music is it?
I don't know. Anything I like. Anything we want. Should we go like hardcore? Like, I don't know. How about some Tupac? Anything by Tupac. Anything by Tupac will do. Perfect.
Yeah.
We're gonna.
You have a DJ at the show?
No, she's making a TikTok for me. Not that I don't make my own TikToks.
Oh, got you. I got you.
She wants to know what kind of music I want. I'm like, you know what? Anything by Tupac should work.
Yeah. So my first ever story that I did on Instagram, I think I messed it up a little bit because I had music going in the background. So I was like, oh man. But I was Terrific On, and I put "Welcome to the Terrordome" from Public Enemy. I was just like, "Welcome to Terrific On." And I was just like, it was like, I never did the story before. I was like, it's my first time doing it. And like, I kind of screwed up the audios all off, but it was fun though.
I just started getting into all this stuff. I'm not really a TikToker or the Snapchatty or a twat or a twit, whatever, tweeting and twatting and twitting. I don't do any of that shit, but I've just started doing it because of my business, right? So it's really fun to learn. It's actually it's just sort of like when I'm doing YouTube. I don't know how to do this. I literally just learned how to invite a guest like 2 weeks ago. So, you know what I mean?
I mean, like, I don't do TikTok. I don't like, I have a Twitter, but I don't use it. Like, I actually, my Twitter, what I used it for was to try to track PlayStation 5s when they were coming out. So it's like, they're going live with a sale right now. Okay, cool. Let me go on there and score one. So I mean that's all I use that for. And then like
The only thing I use
Instagram.
Twitter for is I follow comic book people so I can see if they're doing anything fun. Like if I don't know, Donnie Cates is writing something new, or if this guy's drawing something, I'm like, okay, I should pay attention and I should watch for that. You know, that's the only reason I do it.
And that's one thing I don't do. I was like, you know, I should be following that just to keep up with like you know, for all the like spec stuff and everything. It's just like, oh, like, because I mean, I feel like, I mean, outside of people who have sources like that's the next best thing, because people, you know, go right to Twitter and be like, oh yeah, I heard about this, and you know,
I absolutely hate specking. I really do. I don't like it. I'm more like who dat. If I'm gonna spec, I'm gonna buy a blue chip key, and that's gonna be.
Oh no, it's not for anything like that. Like I just do it just to make sure that, you know, like I do it for my own self.
I have to. That's the problem. I have to spec because I have a store. I have a store, so like I literally have to go through my comics constantly and go, oh shit, this is popular now. That's not popular again. It changes. It's such a change. Most comic book store owners are lazy fucks and they don't price anything. I take everything out every couple of weeks and reprice it and bring in new stuff all the time. So
you have to, just because I mean, like, because you know, I've seen so many arguments happen. I've been the subject of an argument or two. Not bad, but it's just like, you know, oh, that's not supposed to be there. Oh, it is. Like, you know.
Hey, I sold a Spawn one a couple weeks ago. I had it on the wall for $100 because it was $100 at the time I priced it. I sold it for $40 because it was back down to $36 or whatever it was. I'm like, oh yeah, fuck shit. Sorry about that. $40, brother, it's yours. You know.
Usually it's the other way around. Like someone, you know, doesn't go through, and then like, you know, like when the Todd McFarlane signing was happening. So there was a guy, he had that Turtles and Flaming Carrot that McFarlane worked on. I was like, oh, cool. Like, maybe I'll pick this up and send it in, or at the very least, I can go ahead and have Eastman sign it and this and that. And then, you know, the guy, you know, oh, that shouldn't be in there. Like, oh, and I'm like, well, it says $15. No, man. He's like, the best I can do for you is $55. I'm like, okay, you can keep that. And I was like, yeah, not my fault that you didn't go through your box. I mean, come on, man.
If you're not willing to deal, you shouldn't be in comic books.
Yeah.
Granted, there is a bottom line. Like, I do have to pay for stuff. I got to pay for my time. I got to pay for all my stickers. I got to pay for bags and boards and blah, 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 blah. So I do have to pay for a lot. But you still have to be able to make deals, man.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I know, it's crazy. It's just like, you know, like the best shops will do that. And it's just like, you know, and it's funny because, like, you know, some people get annoyed at shops for doing that too. Like I've heard both sides of the argument. With some people like, oh, yeah, which would, you know, pull these books and this and that, so that, like, I'm not getting, you know, hammered when I go to, you know, charge at the register. And then it's like, you know, but then when they sit there like, oh, like, you know, they got this guy going through and taking everything out. This is ridiculous. Like, you know, why can't I just find that? Like, it's a $4 book now. It's gonna be like $15 later. It's like, do you want the thing? Do you want them to keep up with it? Like I look at that as a good thing, because it's like, all right, at least they're, you know, curating those boxes and figuring stuff out. And then, you know, that there's so much of it that's kind of, you know, just back and forth. But I mean, you know, like everybody and their mom, you know, what was it, that Donald Glover thing? We're like, oh, he's gonna be the hypno hipster or whatever. And then that book just, you know, exploded. And it's like, yeah, you know, yesterday it was $2, now it's like $200. Like, that's the way it goes.
That is the way it goes, man. And you get to, some days you get to go, yeah, my book's $200, and other days you get to go, oh fuck, my book's back down to $2. Fuck.
Yep.
That's the way comics roll, man.
Exactly. It's just like, you know, there's so much of that, and it's just, you know, and really, I mean, I you know, I don't mind spec. I don't like when people like, I don't mind spec. I just don't like you know, the pump and dump type stuff. And it's just, and the thing too is that, like, I don't like.
I guess I don't mind spec as much as I hate paying for spec. When a book shouldn't when a book shouldn't be $40, but it's $40, I fucking hate that.
Yeah, no, there's definitely that. But I also feel like too, like I said, I don't like what it does to some people, because like people, you know, gotta get it like that. You know, it's just like, whoa, calm down. Like
yeah.
That's why, like, you know, a lot of times when people are looking left, I'm looking right, because it's like, oh, you know. So that's why I've said to people. That's why I've said, you know, with my list and different things like that. You know, I'm always kind of, my new thing is when I go into shops, I'll try to look and see if they have like a section of Achi books, because
nice.
You want to talk about some books that people don't pay attention to is Achi books. And then, I mean, if you know which ones to look for, you may end up getting something awesome for you know, nothing, just because people, you know, like there's so many Achi titles.
Yeah,
people don't think to look.
There's a ton of Archie, big Archie books.
Yeah.
Big Archie keys that nobody realizes are there. I'm
Yep.
pressing one right now. I think it's Showcase Presents Binky or something like that. And it looks silly as all hell. I probably wouldn't buy it for myself, but it's
Yeah.
the first appearance of Binky. It's a 12-cent comic book, and it's a big deal for Archie fans, man.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too is that like there's a bunch of like I said, like there's some ones that you wouldn't think, like Elvis first appearance of Elvis in comics is in a Jughead book. I'm like, really? Like I mean, and not that that's I mean, people are like, oh my god, but it's just like, hey, it's something, and if you can score it for cheap, somebody will buy it. It's like, oh, first Elvis in comics, yeah, I gotta have that, because then you transcend it. It's like, oh, like an Elvis fan will definitely pay for that. You know what I mean?
Yep. I've sold all my like first appearance of Alice Cooper in comics. I used to have some like punk rock comics and a Led Zeppelin comic and stuff like that. They sell really well.
Expensive. Yeah,
it's a niche market, but you're gonna get, especially in the marketplace, you get a lot of people that like different things. People that love rock and roll come searching for records.
Yeah.
Here. They find that stuff, they love it.
Well, that's the thing, is that those rock and roll comics, some of them are hard to find, and some of them are like really like people pay for those. Like I know, like the Guns N' Roses one, people love that one. I want to say, I think it's like there's a NWA one that people like there's a bunch of crazy like a lot of those, and people actually it's funny, my friend Kyle, like he loves those, so he has, I think, the Faith No More one, and he's got like Depeche Mode and all this type of stuff, and just and it's just funny because people are like, oh, really those books? Like, yeah, but like there's some crazy books out there that you wouldn't think, and it's just like, for me, with the Archie stuff, I'm like, what would be kind of cool, to show on the hunt, or what would just be kind of cool to say that you own? Well, the first Sabrina the Teenage Witch would be amazing to be like, yeah, here's the first Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and oh, here's the first Josie from Josie and the Pussycats. Like it's just like, you know what I mean? It's crazy.
I would actually love the first Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I'm not gonna lie, I would actually really like that comic book. I know it sounds stupid, but
yeah,
it's just something that I wouldn't mind having,
It's out there, and it's funny because it's not a self-titled thing. It's a title called Archie's Madhouse.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you got to kind of so it's just like that. That's why I say like, you never know, like, oh, Archie's Madhouse, like, because I got what was it, the second appearance of Shower Blossom for $10 from a shop, because they didn't know what they had. I'm like, oh, $10, perfect. I was like, this is like a $150 book. I was like,
you know what number Archie Madhouse is the first Sabrina?
Yeah, 22.
Archie Madhouse 22, brother.
Yep.
Yep. Matt?
That's a tough one.
I'm doing it downtown now, though.
Well, if you go to eBay and stuff, some of them are expensive, and then there's other ones that kind of creep in there. So it's just like, you just gotta hope that you find one of those ones that people are like, yeah, just throwing it up there and seeing, someone that either doesn't know what it is or whatever.
Dude, I practically gave a half a long box away of Archie comics to somebody for $65. I was like, here, take them, get rid of them. I know they're worth more than that. In fact, they were worth quite a bit more than that. But literally, I only have one Archie customer. Mm-hmm. And that made me such good rapport with him. He comes back and buys a ton of stuff off me now. And he's always got a huge wad of cash. I'm pretty sure he's a drug dealer. But either way, he buys comic books from me, and that makes me happy.
Yeah, no, that's great. And especially like if he went ahead and found some really good stuff in there, like, oh yeah,
there was some good 12 centers in there. There was some nice books in there.
Yeah, and it's funny because like there's a lot of weird stuff in the Archie books, but there's a lot of good stuff. There's all these different and some of them aren't even covers. Oh, sorry, they're not necessarily like keys where it's like, oh, like there's a first appearance. It's just an innuendo cover. Like it's just like, it's just like, oh, he's saying something dirty on the cover, and people are like, oh man, and then are the different artists that worked on it. Like people are like, oh,
yeah, the pearl necklace cover is the one everybody wants.
Yep.
The pearl, yeah. Oh, look what Archie got me, a pearl necklace for Christmas or something nonsense like that. Yeah. That's a huge deal for some reason. It's hilarious.
And, you know what I mean? It's just like one of those deals where it's like, like they were saying these nasty things back in the day, and it's just like, yeah, they didn't probably mean it like that. You know what I mean? They're probably trying to be like, oh no, this is, and I think that's where the whole thing, the good girl art thing comes. It's like, no, these are good girls, and they don't mean it like that. And it's just like, but it's just, people love those covers, and it's just like, and just those books in general. So it's just, it's fun to see those kind of hidden among just the random Machi books. That's why I feel like no one really knows what to look for or dig for. So it's just like you
You
can
have to
go in a
talk
shop
to
and
somebody
explore.
like Comic Collector Geek for stuff like that. He is well
Yeah,
versed. Same with somebody like Doc would know something like that too. A Comic
yeah,
Collector Geek loves all that good girl art.
yep,
He loves all that old Archie stuff. He's a big fan of that, man. He knows
yeah.
more
And it's
about
just,
that than I'll ever be able to get into.
I think a lot of it too is just like really I think it also is kind of cool to take a break from like, all right, I'm always getting hero books and this and that. It's just like, sometimes it's just cool to go for rarities. It's like, oh wow,
Yeah.
like everybody is probably kicking themselves, like because like, oh, like God of War is getting a show and everything like that, and it's like, you could have got all those God of War comics for super cheap. And now like they're a little bit, because people know that they're tougher to find, number one, and then and he's getting a shirt. So now it's just like, they're starting to build up. And then if you were like a big Gears of War person, like the Gears of War books, I guess were really tough to find back in the day too. So
No, I agree. I agree. That's when I went to my last con. I picked up Creepy magazine and a lot of old bronze horror stuff that nobody was into. Um,
yeah,
and it's one of the first Ditko art. It's Ditko art that's not on a superhero comic. He does a great cover
yeah,
of a great evil cover. I'm like, this is amazing, man. It's just stuff that
yeah,
people aren't into. Like you said, zig left when people are going right. That's all.
yeah. Well,
What's up?
hey, how you doing? I was at a shop on, was it Thursday or Friday, and I went in there. I was like looking at the different books, and I was like, oh, let me see, and I saw that they had all these different magazine covers. So I was like, oh, let me check these out. And so I had like, that's where I picked up this A-Team, and then
When you pulled that, brother, I have I have that AT magazine. I'm like, oh my god, I wish he was playing me right now. I would have done your move on you. I'm like, I hope I wanted to
well,
play me.
you know what my hope was, that somebody would play like that. Oh, I have 18 number one. I'm like, oh yeah. I was like, because I knew it. I was just saying, I was like, well, I like to say that people go big or go home, because I mean, it's just like, I mean, the first 18 is awesome, but it's like, you ain't gonna, you have Mr. T just staring you in the face like that, like, nah.
It's
So it's like,
awesome. No, it's a fantastic little book, man. It's got great art
yeah,
in it too. To be honest, I opened mine up. I checked it out. It's got pretty good art. The pages are
yeah,
really nice. I like the quality of the pages.
yep. And I picked up this guy here because I've always wanted this, and I was like, oh, this is a great, the Super Action Punisher magazine, like always like a great one to have.
Yes, you pulled that. That was an amazing pull the other night. I loved it. I've got a couple of Punisher magazines myself, and I think the covers on those, they look like they're painted covers. They're awesome.
Yeah. And then I got the Conan. I was just like, this is gorgeous. I'm definitely getting this. This I'm probably gonna end up slabbing at some point, because this is great. I don't care if it's not 98. This is just awesome
No,
looking.
that's awesome. It's wicked.
And then I didn't show this, but I did pick up this too, and I was just like, as I like, as like that magazine game was on point. I was like, I gotta get this stuff. So I ended up picking up this Tomb of Dracula one too.
Oh, that's super cool, bro.
Yeah.
That's
So I was
very
just like,
cool.
I was just sitting there, just like, you know what? But like, just because that's the thing, like a lot of people don't quite they don't quite do the whole magazine stuff, and just like, no, those are great.
Yeah, no, the magazines are awesome, man. I love them. I think the only reason I don't like them is because they don't fit in my long boxes.
Yeah.
Other than that, magazines are wicked.
Yeah, no, I like the magazines. I think that when it comes to those there's a lot of diamonds in the rough. There's a lot of really great stuff that you can find in there. And it's just really fun that everybody's sitting there doing their thing. And if you get one of those cool magazines, awesome. But if not, like, you just enjoy the art and like, oh no, this is just amazing stuff here.
Yeah, I've got a friend of mine gave me Destroyer magazine. It's the first Remo Williams in comic books, but it's the
Yeah.
magazine, Marvel magazines. And apparently, I hope it's not Sony, but somebody just bought the rights to Remo Williams, so they're doing another Remo Williams. And I'm like, these $10 worthless comic books are probably going to be worth a couple bucks now. So
Yeah.
thank you to
Yeah,
whoever bought
Remo
that.
Williams. Remo Williams, it's funny because I remember seeing that movie a long time ago.
Yes, oh my
and
God.
then, yeah, it's just like, it's so funny because just like, and I remember he had like his like master or something like that. Like he like runs on water, And he's like, and like, how did you do that? He's like, oh, you gotta run real fast.
Happy New Year, buddy.
What's going on, buddy?
How you doing?
People.
Hello,
Happy New Year.
everyone.
This gentleman just bought a Wolverine #1 off me a couple weeks ago.
Oh, wow.
9/8 Wolverine #1. So.
Oh, all right. Yep. He showed
Yeah.
that book. Yep.
Yeah. He snagged it off me.
No, that's good.
You worked out a great deal.
We did,
If
actually.
you're looking for a deal, this is the place to come to, right here.
Congratulations, man. That's a great book.
Oh, somebody sent me a message. Nice. Yeah. So everything's going all right, man. You know, Bleeker Street Comics is doing well.
Here, I wanted to wish you a very Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Always Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, my friend.
Roberto still passed out. He was partying or whatever you want to call it.
All right. Well,
I will come back and see you. Spider-Man #1.
Awesome. No problem.
Yeah, no.
Apparently he wants to buy Spider-Man #1. That's good.
The McFarlane one?
Yeah, I think I got the silver Todd McFarlane
Oh,
Spider-Man #1 he's after. I got a 9/8 up there. Yeah, hopefully he comes back and grabs that. That'd be nice.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I could use that today. It's been a pretty quiet day so far.
Hey, go replenish that money that you burned on that crow.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Hey man, I think that was a pretty good deal. $20 for that
That's
guy?
a
I
great
thought
deal.
that was pretty
$20. $20 for that is perfect.
Yeah.
Did you slap a little thing on it, like not for sale?
Yeah, I think he's I'm pretty sure he's worth at least $40.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the fact that he's, and on top of that too, it's just a display of it. Like, there's one part of collecting that like I will never get into as far as everything that would be like those are cool. Like those smaller statues are perfect, but like the sideshow collectible statues and stuff like that, I don't have the room and I don't have the money for them. My God.
Normally I don't buy stuff that's out of the package. Normally, it's very rare that you'll see me buy something out of the package, but that was pretty cool, so I couldn't say no.
Yeah. No, I just think back to the statue collectors that I see like on YouTube, and it's just like, I mean, those guys are rich. There's no way around it, and the amount of room that they have to display them is really cool. But it's just like, whew. Like I see some of them because I'm like, this would be cool to get, and it's just like, oh, and you look at the price, like, oh my God, man, that's gonna be tough. Like I can't manage that.
Yeah,
by that I can go home. So I said everybody when they try to taunt me with the Voltrons at conventions, like, oh, you like Voltron? Like I'll sell it to you right now. I'm like, yeah, no, if I do that, then I can't go home. My wife is gonna punch me in the face.
I'm bummed out. I had the opportunity to buy a Wicked Voltron and I didn't. I just kept watching it, and then someone bought it, and I'm pissed off now.
Yeah.
I didn't even say hi to anybody in the chat, really. Dope Comics is in here. Puff is in here. I think TM Nerdy is in here. Michael Baker. I said hi to him, but I'll say hi to him again because he deserves it. He's first in everybody's chat. Appreciate you, Michael Baker.
Yeah, he's Silver Surfer. He's like he was born to draw Silver Surfer. Yeah, he's got good stuff. And then he actually if you have Rawhead Rex. I don't know what that is, but
yeah, man, we got a ton of good people in here. That's great. Appreciate everybody hanging out this morning. I know you're probably all hungover.
No, I was just chilling.
No, me neither. I'm not hungover because I didn't. I don't know why I stopped drinking, but I didn't quit. I just don't drink for some reason. It's weird.
Yeah,
I just stopped after when stupid COVID hit. I just haven't really drank. I don't drink by myself at home. I think it's boring. So.
Yeah. No, I think that's never a bad thing.
So I'm in the Enemies store. You see he's got a ton of books, man.
Wow, look at that.
This is the Enemies territory.
The Enemy.
Yeah. So I got better books than he does. Don't worry. I got better books at a better booth. He's got more shit. Hold on.
Spy on his wall. Let's see what he's got on his wall.
He's got a lot of cool stuff on his wall, but no good comic books.
Oh yeah, I see that Killing Joke up there.
Yeah, it's not a real one. It's just a hardcover.
Yeah. I see. We see you, Enemy. We see you.
He's got a good booth. He's got a good booth, but I have better comics than he does. But he's got a lot of stuff in here, though. Lots of toys.
Yeah, look at that.
Like just a ton of cool toys in here. Lots of Hot
Lots
Wheels
of
stuff.
video
If you love Hot Wheels cars and Matchbox stuff, he's got a ton of cool
Oh,
stuff.
Staten lineup. I saw that.
Yeah, he does have
Was that?
it's definitely got a lot of cool stuff in here. Bunch of cards in here. I wish I could go through that, but I don't want to spend that much time.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, man.
Monopoly.
This market is filled with treasures.
Yeah, that's that Minnie Mouse thing. My wife would have been like, "What? Get back to that Minnie Mouse. Let me see that Minnie Mouse."
Holy shit, yeah, man! Like just the lineup of Hot Wheels cars he's got on the wall is crazy.
You know what's funny is I'm not sure what holds more value, Matchbox or Hot Wheels, just because I know that they were both popular, back in the
It's
day.
really hard to say. I would say that it's Hot Wheels, but there's a huge bunch of Matchbox fans as well, so it's hard to say.
Yeah, I remember all those what's it called in like the '80s stuff, all the tracks and stuff they used to have. Like those gotta be worth something now. Like if you have like the track sets and stuff for the Hot Wheels.
Yeah, big time. My favorite were those RCA and Tyco tracks, the electric tracks they used to have. Those things were awesome, man.
My friend had the Speed Train one. It was incredible.
Yeah, I love them. They're so cool.
I watched like somebody had, it was like one of those things like oh, like you might like this, and it's like somebody like had set up like a crazy one to like to I guess be like a replica of one of the I think it was an F1 races or whatever like that. It was insane like how much detail went into it. Oh, look at the pops.
We are in pop heaven.
Oh my god, look at that.
Yeah, no, it's never ending. This is pop heaven for sure.
Jeez.
It just keeps going and going and going, baby.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah. Man. Anybody that likes pops definitely come down to the market. There's two booths like this, and this one's actually the smaller of the two booths.
Wow.
Yeah, it's insane, man. It's insane.
I can't believe that. That's so many pops.
I'm not a huge pop guy, so thankfully I don't get sucked into those places too often. But I do have a couple in my collection.
Yeah, I have a few. I have the Thanos one. From actually I can show you it. So I have this Thanos here. So I have that.
Nice.
And then I have all 4 Ninja Turtles.
Oh, that's cool.
And then I have a Wolverine that was actually an AOK from a guy.
Oh, that's very cool.
And it's an AOK signed Wolverine signed by Larry Hama. And then I also have I have a Conan. So you know when he is painted up and he goes in the Killer Snake at Thulsa Doom. Like I have that one. And then that's pretty much it. Like I've seen other ones. Like there's a couple of rare ones that I want to get. Like I guess like the original Ghost Rider pop is a rare one. It's a tough one to find. And I think if I did that though, that would be easy. I'd be like, all right, I found my Grail pop. I'm done. But I did see a unicorn in the store yesterday.
I honestly don't understand. Like I get it, but I don't understand. I don't want to put the time in to figure out how much they're worth and stuff like that. I have too much comic book knowledge in my head. So I can't fill it with pop knowledge too.
Well, I think there's got to be an app or something that'll tell you like what your pops are worth and stuff.
And here's the other pop booth. This is just the first half. It's literally it's enormous. There's pops everywhere. There's cool like I don't know Friday the 13th masks.
Sign?
By Tom Morga.
See, my sister would be like, yeah, buying that. Put it in the box.
Goat boat. There's just awesome stuff.
Immortal Hulk. That's cool. Oh, yeah. Actually, the other half. Man.
There's a nice, cool picture, Chucky picture signed by the Chucky actor.
See, this is dangerous. My sister wouldn't be able to be in this pot. She would spend like $1 million.
Heck, man, we even got Harry Potter toys in here for Pete's sake.
Oh, look at that.
There's Hermione. Wow. There's Professor. Yeah, man. Oh, feel like, we got Witchblade toys in here. If you like Witchblade.
Look at that. Witchblade. Wow.
Yeah, I didn't even know they made Witchblade toys, to be honest. Top Cow.
Me neither.
That's awesome.
That's crazy.
Yeah, very cool stuff, man. Well, Chris, I definitely appreciate you being on, brother. I think, what do you think? I think it's time to say goodbye, and we'll maybe do this again soon.
Yeah, no, definitely. That was a good time. Like seeing the shot because I've feel like I gotten a nice guided tour through the place.
There's Mr.
Hey,
Tim
what's
Reed
going on?
here.
Oh wow, Boston Chris, eh?
Yeah, man. We are
Yep, that's
live.
me.
Boston, that's Tim. He's
Nice to meet you, Tim.
I actually cast a vote for you on Saturday or
oh,
Friday night. I cast a vote for you.
nice.
Thank you. I
Nice.
appreciate every single one I get.
Nice. That's cool. All right, man. We're gonna take off.
Yep.
Everybody, thanks very much for joining the chat. Chris, definitely appreciate you hopping on, brother.
Yeah, thanks for
we'll
having
do it
me on,
again
man.
soon. I enjoy hanging out on Sunday mornings, so anytime, really.
Yep.
Awesome,
Anytime you get the
guys.
invite.
Anything you want to tell anybody? You got anything going on?
Not right now. Just kind of gearing up for. Actually, I think tomorrow I'll be live with Hudat. So I'll be live with Hudat on his channel. I think tomorrow. But other than that, I'm just kind of gearing up for the the new year, trying to get my stuff in order. Just try to start hunting down some of these books.
That's awesome.
Just
That's
chilling.
awesome. All right,
Yep.
That's cool, man. I'm the same. I don't have too much going on. You can find me on The Hunt every other Friday, and you can also find me on the Comic Collectors Club with Biggie Shack. Once in a while, I'm on Spine Ticks. I was there last night. Other than that, we're just chilling. Come here every Sunday. I'm going to try to do a live every Sunday from Bleeker Street. So, that's about it, guys. Happy New Year. Really, really thank you very much for all your support this year and
Happy New Year,
last year,
man.
of course. Appreciate everybody that came by, man. Thanks for coming in. We're going to get out of here.
All right, take it easy.
Thanks.